Welcome, deep divers. Today we're diving right into something that might just flip how you think about wealth.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is slow money. Basically, how to earn a little while still living a really rich life.
Yeah.
Our mission here is to unpack this. The thought that true wealth isn't just about piling up cash.
Right. Not just maximizing income.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more about, well, intelligently designing a life that actually fulfills you without that constant grinding pressure for more money.
Yeah, that pressure.
And we're pulling insights from Wanderlust Over 70 by Roberta Hill and her collaborators. They really challenge the old ways of thinking about earning and spending.
And what's really key here, the question that kind of drives this whole philosophy, it sounds simple, but it's pretty profound.
Okay.
It's how much do I actually need to live the life I want?
Mm.
And look, this isn't about, depriving yourself or becoming some extreme minimalist. Not at all. It's about being intentional, deeply intentional. And we're going to uncover some surprising things today about how earning less can paradoxically mean more money in your pocket.
More freedom, too.
And definitely more freedom in your life. That's maybe the biggest piece.
Okay, so let's get into it with Roberta Hill's own story.
Mm-hmm.
Because her experience really, it kickstarts this whole idea, doesn't it?
It really does.
She's an organizational development specialist, a leadership coach, and she started getting these questions from colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
They saw how she was sort of shaping her work around her life, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And it began when she asked that exact question you just mentioned about enough.
Exactly. And this is where she had this kind of revelation. Her first year, self-employed, as a solopreneur, she did really well, actually earned more than she thought she needed.
Okay. Success, right.
Yeah, but then tax time rolled around, and her accountant told her something, pretty counterintuitive.
Which was?
He said, you'd actually be better off earning less.
Really?
Yeah. Lower income means lower taxes. And ironically, more actual cash in your pocket at the end of the day.
Wow.
It's a fundamental shift in thinking, isn't it? True wealth isn't just the top line number, it's how much you keep. Especially when you factor in those hidden costs of a high income, like higher tax brackets, or just, spending more because you earn more.
That's such a powerful point. And it makes you think about how much our spending is tied to our work without us even realizing it.
Totally.
Roberta talks about how her expenses just naturally shifted when she went self-employed. Like, she realized she only needed, 3 workout fits?
Right, because clients really saw her multiple times.
Yeah. Compare that to the corporate wardrobe pressure, right?
Yeah.
And she spent way less on eating out and obviously no more commuting costs.
Those disappear. Big savings right there.
Plus, being self-employed, she could write off legitimate business expenses, which, as she said, made the numbers look even better.
And the result of all this, it was profound. By billing only about 2/3 of her old salary, she ended up with the same cash flow, the same actual money in her pocket.
That's incredible. A third less gross income, same take-home.
Exactly. It just shows the power of cutting expenses and, maybe even more critically, those lower taxes. It wasn't about chasing more income. It was about what she kept.
Now, she is very honest about the trade-offs. We need to be clear about that.
Absolutely. It's not all sunshine.
She had to network,
Right.
right? Step out of her introvert comfort zone. That's not easy for everyone.
Definitely not.
And she gave up paid vacation, that corporate health care package.
Right, the benefits.
Although, context is key here. Living in Canada, a lot of her basic medical needs were covered by the public system, so that softened the healthcare blow quite a bit.
That's a significant factor, yeah. And then she had what she called her ace up her sleeve.
Which was?
No debt. Zero.
Wow, no mortgage, nothing.
Nope. She saw a home as an investment, sure, but she chose to rent at that point. Stepped right out of the housing market.
That takes guts.
It does, but it gave her incredible flexibility, freedom, really. She even became an expatriate later on. That lack of debt let her make choices based on her life goals, not just money pressure.
So pulling this together,
Yeah.
What does it all mean for you listening? Roberta found that living within her means wasn't about shrinking her life. It wasn't deprivation.
No, not at all.
It was about optimizing it, like consciously finding the hidden fat, the excess, and letting it go.
Trimming the fat.
Like realizing she didn't need a huge house with all the upkeep,
Uh-huh.
just a space that fit her actual needs. And doing that bought her genuine freedom.
A word she uses a lot.
Yeah, and she found it was similar to the freedom people seek in retirement. It's not the money itself. It's what the money buys you: time, choice.
That's the core of it, time and choice.
That point about right-sizing for freedom really hits home. And this is where the authors of Wanderlust Over 70 come in, because they show how flexible this whole idea can be.
Right, they take it in their own direction.
They also practice this slow money thing. But with their own mix of, well, indulgence and smarts, they admit they want it all.
Yeah, they're not minimalists.
A downtown Montreal condo, lots of small trips, one big international trip every year. And they make it work, which proves you don't have to live like a monk to do this.
Absolutely. And their financial approach is super pragmatic, really flexible. They mostly live off pensions.
Okay.
Plus, she says, a little dividend income and a tiny bit from digital products.
A mix.
A mix, exactly. And what's really interesting is how they adapt. They actually refinance their mortgage to pay for a trip to South Africa and cover some unexpected costs.
Whoa, okay. So not afraid to use debt strategically.
Apparently not. It shows this isn't some rigid rule book. It's about making your finances actively support the life you want, even if it means, unconventional moves sometimes.
That's a great illustration of flexibility.
Yeah.
So let's look at their strategies at home, because they're really smart about day-to-day spending.
Yeah, they are.
Even with that huge expense of the downtown condo, they drive a 2007 Volvo.
Right. Clearly a new car isn't a priority.
And in town, mostly public transport, saves a ton on gas, parking, upkeep.
Definitely.
Now, I can imagine some listeners thinking, especially older adventurers, maybe reliability is key in a car. How do they balance that?
That's a fair question. And it comes back to intentionality, I think. For around town, the old Volvo and Transit are fine.
Okay.
But if they were doing a long, demanding road trip, which isn't their main travel style, now they'd likely rent something newer. It's about spending where it needs to count for them.
Makes sense. Choose your battles.
Exactly. And back to daily habits, they like snacking around town, but rarely full meals out, maybe a late lunch sometimes. They love their coffee, but they skip the alcohol when they're out.
Wow.
Another small saving that really adds up.
It does. And they have other smart consumer habits too, right?
Oh, yeah. Season passes for local stuff, buying smart at places like Costco, selling things they don't need anymore on Facebook Marketplace.
Resourceful.
Very.
Yeah.
Using thrift shops, the no-tax ones are great, and that senior perk. Free public transit. Huge savings if you qualify. It's all about stacking those small wins.
Okay, so how do they take this mindset on the road? They love to travel. This leads to their first travel strategy, right?
Yeah, number one, lowering the cost of living, not the quality of life.
Okay, how?
Well, things like house sitting or home swaps, they talk about a great swap in Paris, free place to stay for ages.
Fantastic.
They're big on off-season travel. It's not just 30–50% cheaper, she says, but fewer crowds, better local interactions, just a better vibe often.
That's a huge tip. Less stress, too.
Definitely. And choosing walkable cities. Avoids that car rental cost, which can be a massive budget killer.
Oh, for sure. So smart. And this idea of enough leads to their second point about income.
Exactly, too. Redefining income. It's not just about a paycheck.
Right. Like what?
Leveraging points and miles for flights, hotels. But they add a warning, don't spend just to get points. That's usually a losing game.
Good caution.
They also do some in-kind exchanges, trading skills like pet sitting, maybe for a place to stay or some meals. It's a small piece, but it helps.
Creative.
And using community perks, local markets, public libraries, and definitely senior discounts. They stress researching what's free or reduced for seniors wherever you go.
You have to do the homework. Okay, strategy 3.
3, keeping your money slow. This is about income streams that are, well, steady, often passive, and low stress.
The opposite of hustle culture.
Totally. Think tiny dividends from investments, maybe small sales from digital products like ebooks or guides, affiliate links.
Stuff that ticks over the background.
Exactly. And they say you don't need thousands from this. Even a few $100 a month goes a long way if your needs are simple.
Right.
It also includes what they call part-time bursts of freelance work.
Ah, so not totally passive, but controlled bursts.
Yeah. Do a project, get a lump sum, maybe fund a trip, then step back. It supports the lifestyle, doesn't dictate it.
I like that. Okay, what's number 4?
4, living by enough. And this isn't vague, it's calculated.
How so?
They figure out their floor budget essentials, housing, food, travel, healthcare, the absolute must-haves.
Okay, the baseline.
Then a tiny spark budget, like
Right.
0.01% for small joys, a fancy pastry, flowers.
Nice. Little treats.
And a shift budget, 1% for one big annual indulgence. Maybe that amazing cooking class or a special piece of art.
Okay, planned indulgence.
Yeah. And their philosophy, everything else is noise, just focus on funding what matters, let the rest go.
Powerful. And the last one, number 5, is travel specific.
Right. 5, make travel work for you. This means things like basing yourself in lower cost spots for longer stretches. They mentioned Porto, Budapest, Arequipa.
Smart. Slower travel is often cheaper.
Way cheaper. Monthly rent and cooking beat hotels and restaurants every time, even if it's just one long trip a year. They maximize free breakfasts, eat dinner in.
Practical.
And again, leveraging those senior perks relentlessly. Free museum days, cheaper train fares. You gotta research.
So connecting all this, slow money, it's really about income that's steady, sustainable, and low stress, right?
Exactly. The polar opposite of that frantic hustle culture, constantly chasing the next big thing.
Yeah. The goal isn't some huge jackpot. It's keeping the pot simmering while you actually live your life. Control over time and energy.
Precisely. And this philosophy is supported by certain kinds of income streams that really fit the bill.
Like,
Well, things like dividends and index funds,
Yeah.
especially broad market funds, they give regular payouts.
passive income, basically.
Pretty much, once you've made the initial investment anyway. Requires capital upfront, sure, but it's a steady trickle without constant effort. Foundational for some people.
Okay. What else fits that slow model?
Digital products. Think ebooks, downloadable guides, maybe simple online courses.
Something you create once.
Yeah, the classic build once, sell many times model. Income can trickle in long after you've done the work. Obviously, there's still marketing, but it's not trading time for money in the same way. Great for creatives, writers.
I see that. And what about people who still want to do active work sometimes?
That's where consulting, freelance, and short bursts comes in.
The bursts again.
Yeah. You can potentially charge high rates, but you control the rhythm completely, do a project, earn good money, maybe fund that big trip, then take time off.
So it's strategic active income.
Exactly. Supports the life you want, doesn't run it. High value work, then freedom.
So this whole idea of shaping the life you want with slow money, it seems to boil down to a few key things you need to do.
Yeah, I think so.
First, you absolutely have to figure out your enough,
Right.
because it only works if you're not constantly chasing more.
Crucial first step, define your target.
Second, automating systems seems important. Making sure money flows in even when you're, I don't know, hiking in Peru.
Right. Setting things up so they run themselves as much as possible.
Third, mixing income types. Like a freelance gig pays for travel, while the digital product handles daily stuff.
Yeah, diversification, but on a small, manageable scale.
And maybe most importantly, keeping it values-based.
Absolutely. The whole point is to support the life you want to live, not create another stressful side hustle that stops you from living it.
Yeah, that's the trap, isn't it? So, okay, thinking about the listener now. What does this all mean for you? The real secret here, it seems, isn't just about earning less.
No, that's only half the picture, and maybe the scarier half for a lot of people to think about.
Right.
It raises that crucial question. Maybe it's really about needing less? The big insight seems to be that, happiness and joy don't just keep scaling up forever with income. There's a point.
Point of diminishing returns.
Exactly. Beyond a certain level of comfort, more money often just means more complexity, more stuff to manage, more pressure to keep up appearances.
Right. It doesn't automatically equal more happiness.
Often the opposite.
So the less you genuinely need, the freer you become.
That's it.
Freer to choose the life you actually like, the one that fits your values. It stops being just about piling up money and starts being about optimizing for freedom.
Freedom, time, experiences, over just endless stuff.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe something for you to consider is, what's your enough? Really think about it.
Yeah.
What are the hidden extras in your life? The subscriptions, the constant upgrades, the habits maybe driven by what others expect. What could you let go of?
And what freedom could that letting go buy you?
Exactly. Could it help you live a richer life on your own terms?
Maybe take a moment to think about your own floor, spark, and shift budgets like the Wanderlust authors did.
Yeah, try calculating that.
Or perhaps just explore one slow money idea that kind of clicked with you today. Even a small shift in perspective can open up surprising possibilities.
Well said. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into slow money and living a truly rich life.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Until next time, keep exploring what truly enriches you.